So I'm Hewie Poplock. I'm sitting in for Dave Gerber. This is the Windows 10 Tips and Tricks and Tech Talk forum for STUG. And today is May 7th, 2021. And we have a nice group this afternoon. And we'll start out and see if you have any questions. And if not, I'll kind of kick off a couple of ideas, and then usually at that point, questions start popping into your minds.
Yes, they do.
So,
I have a question.
okay, Caitlin.
And it's something that's come up in some of the recent technology webinars, but I still don't know the answer. Someone who asked about switching from their current email provider to Gmail, which I would like to do. I'm on Yahoo and I would like to switch to Gmail. But I am terrified to do that because, I mean, my email address pops up in autofill in a million places. It's connected to a lot of my apps. I have no idea what will happen if I do that with all the places where my email is out there, and which gives me access to almost everything I do on the computer. And the answer to the other person's was, well, it takes a couple of months for you to get all of your email contacts to go to your new thing, but I'm not worried about my email contacts, my friends or people who I email to. I'm worried about this. I've had this email address for 20 years or whatever. I'm just afraid of what will happen because every time I make a change on my computers, I have to tell you something goes wrong, and it takes me hours to try to figure out what it was and to fix it if I can.
Okay, let's start out with a couple of things. First of all, what is after the @ sign in your email address? I don't need to know the beginning part of it, just in other words, where is your email?
Yahoo.
Okay, so you're using Yahoo now.
Yeah.
Okay. There is nothing that says that you still can't use that email address, and you just create a Google address if you haven't done so already. Have you done so?
I do have a Google address for some other thing that I was doing for a while.
And is that the one you want to use?
Probably not. I mean, it was a while ago and I hardly ever go in there. I just as soon start.
Well, it doesn't, you can still use it if you haven't been. You might just go in and look and see what's in there. If you got a ton of junk mail, then it might be better just to create a new email address. And the beginning part of your email address at Yahoo, is that what your Gmail account also is? In other words, if it's John at yahoo.com, is the new one John at google.com?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, did you want to do that?
No.
For a Google address?
No. One of the things that bothers me is my long name, which always, if I'd known I had to stick with this long name, cut to Lynn Holzman at yahoo.com, that's my address, I would never have picked it. I would have picked something much shorter. Okay.
So is the address you currently have for Gmail, is that one that you would be comfortable using?
Probably, yes.
Okay. So let's say you do that. Now, how do you read your Yahoo mail? Do you just go to yahoo.com and click on mail, or go to, I think it's mail.yahoo.com, something like that? How do you read your mail? Do you do it through your browser, or do you have a program that you look at it?
Well, I do it through my browser. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I use the Edge, and it gives me, and what pops up is a series of options, one of which is my Yahoo. I click on that, and then it gives me Yahoo, and then I look for my email. And I know I can do it faster, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't recall what my Yahoo password is, but let's see what I can
I mean, I know I can go there directly if I.
Okay, but what I want to show you, let's, whoops, I'm clicking this, and that's not what I want to click. I'm going to share my screen. That's on, and you should see my screen. Let me maybe hide the video panel so you don't see that, because otherwise that's in the recording. And what I'm going to do is go ahead, and you're using Edge, and I don't think I have, yeah. So let me go to Edge. And this would be the same for those of you who don't use Edge. It would be the same with whatever browser you're using. And if I go to yahoo.com, and there's my Yahoo, and I can sign in, and I don't think, oh, wait a minute, this might recognize me. Yes, it does. Good. Okay. All right. Protect your passwords, confirm.
Yeah, and Hewie, I don't have to sign in. It just, you know.
I understand that. I understand, but I haven't been on with this.
Right.
So let's see, let Microsoft check passwords. I'm just going to close that because I don't care. And don't lose your account. Ad recovery, let's see, looks good. I don't know what that's verified 19 years ago. I've been using my Yahoo account for a long time too. So I'm just going to say, yeah, it looks good. I don't know. Okay, so I'm here and I can open up my Yahoo Mail. I have no idea what's here. And it looks like I paid for my Flickr, which is there. So this is what you're talking about, is your Yahoo Mail, correct?
Yeah, except it fills up the page rather than, I mean, I don't like it to just be that tiny thing on the left.
You close this. Yeah, but you can have.
I don't close it. It just comes up. It just fills up the page more.
Okay, but this is basically what you have.
Yes.
Okay, now if you start a Gmail account, what you can do is just open this and say, okay, I want to go to gmail.com. And this is one of my, let's see, let's go to this account and next. Oh, come on, sign in. Oh, come on. I don't, since I haven't been here before, let's go ahead and let's see, we're here. Let's just go ahead and use this. This is a junk account that I have, but it remembered, and protect your account, confirm, update. That's good. That's fine.
Confirm.
Yeah. Okay. And sign in on device not yours. Oh, come on. It's not recognizing me because I haven't been here before in a long time. So let's see, support. I don't want support. I just want Google Mail. Gmail, let's see what happens. There we go. Okay. So because I got a security because I just signed in on the account. Okay, so recommends using Chrome. Don't switch. Okay, so what I've done now is I've got my Yahoo Mail and my Gmail. Neither one's going to interfere with the other. They're both there, and I can check the mail on either one of them. And what you can also do is,
can I ask a question? When
yeah, please do.
You can check the mail on either one of them. I would get different mail on one than the other, correct?
Yeah, that would be correct, because somebody sends an email to one account or to the other account.
Yes, just to double check before we go further.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got both. Now, there's one thing you can do is if you go into your settings, into the settings in Edge, and they're very similar to the ones in Chrome and Firefox and so on. But let's go to settings. And where I want to go to is appearance on startup. See where I click on startup here? It says, okay, when you start up Edge, how do you want to start it? Do you want to open a new tab, continue where you left off, or open specific page? I'm going to say I want to open a specific page and set to currently open tabs. So I'm going to click on that. And so it picked up both of those email. And I don't have to save this or anything. It's now my setting. So if I close this and then open up Edge again, what's going to happen is there's my Yahoo Mail and my Gmail. Okay, so that would be your first step, is you start using your Gmail account. You use it from here, but you can go back and you can use your Yahoo Mail and so on, just the way you have been. Now, if you go in, and I haven't used Yahoo Mail in a long time, as you saw, but if I go here to settings and go to more settings, maybe mailboxes, notifications. I'm just trying to see contacts. Oh, is there find messages, documents, photos? There must be a help here somewhere. Back to inbox. I want to look for the settings. At about switch to basic mail. Contacts. What I want to do, viewing mail, viewing email. Let's take a look at this group. Okay, this is the way you look at it. What I'm trying to do, there should be a place where you can forward the email from your Yahoo account to your Gmail account if you wanted to. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Mailbox, send only email address, personalize the inbox. No, that wouldn't be it. So let's see. Add account, sign out, account info. It's got to be a place where we can go in and do a settings.
The settings is in the upper right. No, lower, right lower.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay, there we go. But I don't see layout, inbox spacing, more settings. Let's try that. That takes us back to here, but I'm not sure where to look. Let's go mailboxes, mail.
How about add mailbox?
Let's see what that says. Yeah, actually, you could add it to the same. You could still read it in your Yahoo mailbox, but you probably want to start getting away from Yahoo. So that wouldn't be really the best way to do it. Send only email address, disposable email address, mailbox management, mailbox lists. Should be a way. So, when all else fails, you come out here and you say, forward Yahoo Mail setting. Log into your Yahoo Mail account, click the gear, the upper right of the page next to your name, select more settings, select mailboxes, select your primary email box. So here, mailboxes is where it said, right? And then your primary, which would be here. There we go. Forwarding. Now send you the link to the directions, but it's, you clicked on, I clicked on the gear and I got the mailboxes and then I scrolled down. And so now we're at forwarding, and to forward your mail to another email, you have to upgrade to Yahoo Mail Plus. Wouldn't you know that? And I presume you don't have Yahoo Mail Plus, correct?
No.
Howie,
Okay.
cannot she just copy her contact list in Yahoo and just import it all to her Gmail account?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is just get her email into her Yahoo Mail and just forward it to Gmail. There should have been an easier way to do that. Okay, in the panel.
But if she notifies all her contacts that she's now Gmail.
Yeah. Eventually that will work.
Mhm.
And so what you're going to do is you're going to go into your Yahoo Mail. Let's go back to just where the mail is. Here it is. And there's, let's see, how do you get to your contacts? I'm dealing with something that I don't normally work with, so.
It's on that line, yeah, over there. The
Right here.
That's it.
Yeah, contacts, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I only have a handful here. So yeah, so you could then send an email to each one of your contacts that you want, format it, copy and paste it. When I say format it, write it in, if you use Word or Notepad or whatever you use to write emails with, or to write any kind of a document, I would do that first, or create one email to one person and then copy it and then paste it and then just send it to each of them saying, this is, I'm changing my email address. Here's my new email address. Please change it. Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm not concerned about doing that because I could
Okay.
probably figure out how to do that. It's that autofill feature that every time I do something on my computer and I've signed on to taking webinars with this gardening group, I buy through this one. I've signed on to so many things that has my Yahoo email as my primary identifier. And I don't know who all of those even are. And they're the ones that are more important to me than this group. That's what I worry about, what will happen if I get rid of my Yahoo.
Can I add something to this? Because I just experienced that.
Okay.
And what I had to do, what I did is I went to every one of those companies that I know, and I made a list of them and checked them off as I did them. I went to them in the area where they have you change your email and your address or change your information. And I changed it. Many of them said, confirm that. And I confirmed it. And now when I go back to them, when I click on something, they give me the current email, the changed email.
I have no idea how many there are, and
we just take them as you go to them, change, just make a list of them and do it while you're online with them. Or there's nothing that prevents you from using the old address.
except that all of those will come up. I already have a problem with looking at 100 emails a day and deleting most of them. I mean, I don't want to have to do that now twice.
Yeah, but if you switch emails, if you switch emails for all of those places, all that email is going to go into your Gmail account. You're going to be getting all of that mail there.
Okay.
The only problem I encountered, and I think this is what happened with Zoom perhaps, is that if you use your email as your identifier on when you go to log in.
Yes.
Was it the old email or the new email? And I think that's where sometimes the problem comes in. You're not sure which one to use. So I did both of them till they took it, whenever they wanted.
Yes, if one doesn't let you can't get in with one, you use the other.
And some places I've discovered will not accept anything but an email address for that login identifier.
Yes, your username. Yes.
Right. That's why I have so many out there, banks and all kinds of things that are important, that I can't just drop because. And then there's the thinking that happens in the background, which I don't understand who's doing it, but they're syncing my stuff like that in the background. The powers that technology powers that be.
Syncing it with what? I'm not sure what you mean. What is syncing?
She's talking about cookies.
There are different gadgets, and all of them seem to, if I get a new electronic gadget, for example, which I just did, they try to find all of these things and sync them into the new gadget. So I just got a new Amazon Fire HD10, which I can't remember if it was you or somebody else recommended, Hewie, and they already have synced all of my different things. They don't sync everything.
Right, and if you change your sign in for one of them, it may sync it again, or you may just have to change it on your Fire when you try to go to it on it. It's not a big deal. It's not something to be afraid of. You just make sure that you have a piece of paper that's got both sign-ins available.
I spent an hour and a half yesterday trying to get this thing, which should work automatically, to work. I spent an hour and a half with a technician because my new gadget wouldn't give me access to my email. And we went around and around and around for an hour and a half until this person, who presumably is Amazon's person who knows how to do this, where we finally succeeded, where she downloaded a new app. It's not that easy, is what I'm saying, or at least not for me. Maybe I do things wrong, but I'm afraid to touch anything for that reason.
It sounded like you were trying to do it through an app, and don't do it through the app, do it through your browser.
She added the app because it didn't work through the automatic. Kept asking me questions. I gave the right answer, and it wouldn't accept it, and I don't know why.
Understand her frustration.
Well, not knowing what you or she were doing, I can't answer that, but it shouldn't be what you're describing. It should not have happened to be. It shouldn't be that difficult.
It shouldn't, but it was, and I could get my email on my laptop. I tried that. But I couldn't get my email on my old Kindle Fire or the new one. So I didn't have the wrong password. So who knows what reason there was for that? She didn't know.
Well,
so she
I think you were using an app instead of the browser.
No, she downloaded the app to finally fix the problem.
Yeah.
Because she said to me, why don't we try this? Download the app. And she did it because she had taken control of I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on and on and on. Well,
okay, no, but these are things, Leah had a similar problem and so on. So we all experience these kind of things. It's good to talk. And that's what the whole idea of these kind of forums is, to try to help you. And it's small enough that I think we all learn when somebody has an issue and we try to work it out. So,
and Hewie, I will do what you say. Gradually work toward take my contacts and move them.
Because you're not closing your Yahoo at all. So if anything that's set up using the Yahoo sign-in, it will work. In fact, if you didn't have the Yahoo account anymore, it may still work until they try to get a hold of you. Or if they require you to okay something and they send you an email saying, okay, we'll let you on if you okay this. And if you didn't have the email address, but as long as you maintain that Yahoo email as well, and as I showed you, you can have both on your browser. Just gradually move to your Gmail, and as you move one at a time, you'll start getting them in your Gmail account instead of your Yahoo account.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your patience also with this.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Unless somebody else wants to. And so I just want a little bit of guidance with regard to where to save documents and downloads. Several places, there is quick access, there is Dropbox, there is My PC, and I'm a little bit confused as to where to put saved items, because on occasions when I use the Windows icon bottom left and I type in the title of a saved item, it doesn't bring it up.
Yeah. I can understand what you're saying, because sometimes when you download something, it will usually we'll put it in your download folder.
Yeah.
But not always, depending upon the service or where you're located or what you've been doing. And sometimes it sticks it in the wrong place. Now, there's a couple of ways around that. One is you got to make sure you read everything on the screen, which is sometimes difficult. Even I don't do it, and it sticks it somewhere, and I don't know where it went. I have a tool that I can find things. Would that help you?
Oh, yes, you've just reminded me about that. Yes.
Okay, let me show you that
Everything.
tool.
It's called Everything, right?
Yes, let me
Thank you
remind
for
you on that.
reminding me. Yes.
Okay, I am going to open up everything. And it looks
I
like
forgot.
this. And it's showing me everything. And what you can do is if it's right after you've downloaded it, go over to where it says date modified, click it, make sure you've got, let's see, it's showing 2002. I'm going to switch that. And so there's today's date, and I can see everything that's been downloaded. But, you know, a lot of this is just work stuff that Windows does. So there's nothing over here that really will tell me anything. But let's see if I can scroll down here because I was working on some things earlier.
How do you get everything?
It does it. The program does it.
It's an app
Yeah.
from the Microsoft store?
The program, everything. I'll give you that as soon as I kind of work down here. Okay, here's a couple of GIFs that I looked at. I don't know if I looked at them or not, but let's move down and see if I can find some. These are still all today since 12/16. So this is just since we've been on because we're doing things. So I'm going to move down here quite a bit. And
We
let's
finally
see.
got to the 4th.
Yeah, so let's come on. Find something here that when I open it, you can recognize it. So that's where we were. I'll keep going, move down. You can see it opens up, Windows opens up a lot of files. So a lot of this is junk, and there's a way to turn off the kind of things that I might look at. But here, okay, here's something here. So here's an icon. Let's see what this is. Okay, it's just a little icon, but there it is. I can look at it. Now close. So I got to move this down so I can close it. Are we still there, or are we 12? Come on, there we go.
Then how's your log outs? The places where you
So-
logged out.
Yeah, so well, let's look at some things from the last couple of days here. Okay, computer boot is hybrid meeting. Yeah, this was a picture I took yesterday, let's see, on the 5th at 3:06 p.m., but it was a meeting I was on. And there's the picture I took. So I can find it. And now let me go ahead and close this. And what it's showing me here is, okay, that's in documents, presentations, Google search tips. Let's see, this keeps moving,
Yes.
2021, and then computer booters. So then it tells me where it is. Now, another thing I can do is I can right mouse click that and I can open the path. And when I do, it takes me right to the folder that it's in.
Got it. Okay.
So let me show you, for those of you who have not used everything before, about everything, here is, and I'm going to copy this link. Well, actually, I'm going to go to it and then copy it up here. Control C. And then I am going to come to the chat box. And in the chat box, I will copy that. And so if you open your chat box, there is a link to where that is. Copy and paste that somewheres or click it and then bookmark it. But it'll take you to the place where I'm at on this, and you can download the program and install it. Yeah, that's all basically you have to do, and then you run it. As soon as you run it, it goes out and it lists everything that's on your computer. And you can sort
Excellent.
it.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah,
Let me
and
just, sorry, go on.
Go ahead, ask your question.
No, as a related question, when do you choose to save something into Dropbox versus saving it to IPC? That's one question. And the other question is, what is the purpose of quick access?
Okay, yeah, those are two totally separate things. So let's take
understand.
the first one. So when you want to save something, where do you save it to? Well, that's a matter of when somebody hands you an envelope and says, put this away, do you go to your file cabinet? Do you go to your desk in your room? Do you put it on top of a bookshelf? It's a personal thing depending upon the item, correct? if somebody hands you a bag full of potatoes and says, says, put these away, you're probably not going to put them in your file cabinet.
Right.
But so that's pretty evident. You're going to put it either in the refrigerator or in a place where you put your vegetables or items like potatoes.
Right.
So it's not quite as evident when you have a file. Let's say you're going to download the copy of the monitor, the STUG monitor, the newsletter, and you want to save it somewhere. Well, where do you want to save it? Do you want to save it in your downloads folder? Or do you want to create a subfolder in downloads called STUG? Or do you want to create a subfolder or folder in your documents called STUG? Or do you want to save it out on Dropbox in the cloud so you can get to it from, let's say, your phone if you wanted to easily, and then you can save it to Dropbox, or you can save it to both of them one at a time. You have to save it to one and then save it to the other, so you have a copy of it on your hard drive and then another one in Dropbox.
So the one advantage of Dropbox is that you can access that anywhere from any computer anywhere.
Yeah, but you have a limited amount of space unless you buy extra space. But you can fill that up very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if you do, then you've got to either eliminate something or pay extra to get more space. Where on your hard drive, hopefully you've got a lot of hard drive space and you can put it wherever you want.
Yes.
Wherever you want.
Okay. Yeah, I do have extra space in Dropbox. I think it's pretty cheap anyway, so I just elected to buy some more storage.
Okay.
Okay.
But then you also might want to have a copy on you could, if you wanted to, have a copy on your hard drive as well. In that way, you can get to it quicker and you don't have to be connected to the internet to get it. Okay, your second question dealt with something else, and I got concentrating on this and I forgot what that was.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm confused about, when you open all the files and folders, there's quick access and there's my PC. Quick access always comes out at the top, and I don't really understand what the purpose is of quick access, and if you could clarify that.
Okay, let's go ahead and share screen. And I think what you're saying, I'm going to go ahead and close this. I think we're done with this part. And if I type in quick access down here, not sure. Oh, quick assist is what I'm thinking of. I'm not sure what you mean by quick.
If you go to the folder icon at the bottom.
File Explorer.
Quick access.
Yes.
Okay, this is a setting. These are some things that you go to a lot. And you can, that's a setting. So if I click, let's see, quick access, it's in here, pin to quick access. So notice there's pins here. So I can take any folder. If I go to a particular folder a lot, let's come down here and I'll pick one arbitrarily here. Let's say documents and STUG. One called STUG here. If I go there, and if I right mouse click that, give access to, let's see, there should be a pin to quick access. I click that. Now, if I come up here to quick access, it's up here. So you can set whatever. These are things that you go to a lot. And let's say you no longer want to, you're done with the particular thing you were working on and you're not going to that folder anymore. What you do is you right mouse click here and unpin from quick access, and it's gone. So if you don't want anything in quick access, you can just unpin all of them.
Got it. Okay. You see, the reason I don't really see the purpose in quick access is if I want to find anything, I'll just search it with the Windows icon, and now, of course, using the everything search as well. So it's almost redundant for me to even play with quick access.
Well, sometimes when you have this open and you say, well, I want to go somewhere real quick, I want to go to my Google Drive, or I want to go to let's say documents, it's right there at the top. I don't have to go searching for it and come down here and say, okay, well, there it is, way down there. It's right, it brings it to the top, so it's handy. So it's just for quick access. but you don't need to have
No.
it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else have questions about what I just showed? It's one of the tools in File Explorer. And Leah was here last week or the last meeting, and I had explained quite a bit about quick access, or not quick access, but of the File Explorer. And if you want to take a look at what we talked about last time, again, I'm going to file share and come out here. And now I'm going to go to, I use Chrome all the time. I'm going to go to Chrome, and then I am going to go to YouTube. I can click my quick button down there, but I'll type in youtube.com. And then in my channel, which is Hewie, and I'll give you that, but here is the Windows tips and tricks helping users, and it's 21 minutes. And what I did is I took a lot of the things that we talked about at the last meeting and put them in there. Or
Thank
you
you.
can go to switch account, and you can go to the STUG channel. And this time I am going to click on your channel. And again, I'll show you how to get to these easily. But if we move back here, there's the meeting, last meeting, keep going. 2 months ago, so that wouldn't be tips and tricks.
Now you can
That was
use
from a
this. You
month
can
ago.
use the search icon, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking to see if I did post it up here. Yeah, there's the STUG Windows from 423, and that is almost an hour. That was the whole session, and that's available, and you can watch that. Now, how do you get to the channel? It's here, but you're not gonna sit there and write all this down right now. And I can copy and paste it, but let me show you an easy way how you can get to it. Just go to hewie.net, which is my website. Go to YouTube and come down here to the Sarasota Technology User Group. Go to the STUG channel, click it, and it'll take you right to the channel. And then there it is. And you can watch any of the forums that were recorded or meetings that were recorded and posted. They're all there available for you to watch. Now, there's the iPad and iPhone meeting from a month ago. It's almost 2 hours long, but the video is there.
From
Okay.
from other instructors' classes as well, when they record, is that where it goes?
If they have decided that they want them posted, and either they know how or they've contacted Bill or I to post them, they're there, yes. Now, I didn't put up the meeting from this past week because all it were a couple of recordings. So, and I'm not sure whether we can legally just do that. So those aren't posted. But most of the meetings that we have, we do post the the presentation meetings, and then some of the classes get put up there. It depends upon the instructor if they want to do it or not.
Wow.
I throw a lot at you, don't I?
Wow, yeah. But
You
it's
show,
good.
you show us how that Everything app works? Because I downloaded it just now, but I'm not sure how to use it to search.
Sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. And let's go ahead and close this. Close this. And now I'm going to click. I've got a button here, but I can go here. And then, by the way, there's a quick way in which you can access your menu here. If you just click one of the letters, one of the whatever it is. So I click A, that makes like a dialing thing. So I can say, okay, everything is with an E. I click the E, bingo, there it is. And there's everything. And there's search everything. I click it and open up the program. It immediately has everything that's on my computer. It has somehow made it into a database, and all that information is there. And it's amazing. Now, you can sort it alphabetically. You can sort it by the path. So there's my C drive. And so in it, you can see it's by organization, or you can by size. So if you know it's a huge file, you can click on it and maybe, you know, some of these are 10 gigabytes. So you see, if you're trying to delete a lot of big stuff, you can do it very quickly that way as well. Or date modified, and there's everything by date. Now there is some settings under help, and there's help there, and everything website, check for updates, donate about everything. I think there's a way to do your settings, bookmarks. You can actually bookmark some things too in there, search, view. So there's some settings here. Okay. I'm trying to think details. Somewhere's in here, I said, also, okay, yeah. Search everything, search just the audio, just compressed documents, folders, pictures. So if we just said folders, it's only going to show me folders. It'll still find anything.
Yeah, mine was
So-
just blank on the screen, and I thought I had to put a word in there to search for the word.
Yes, well, and it may not have made the listing yet. It may be in the process of doing that. And when you reboot and start, I think it will do that for you.
Okay, thanks.
But I think there is a way you can tell it not to show some of the hidden stuff. And I don't quite remember where that was, but you can say, okay, I want to just look at all of my videos. Bingo, there's everything that's a video on my
Wow.
system. You can see I got a lot of stuff here.
Wow.
Really do.
Yeah. And some of it's quite large, and others are just little things that I've used for one thing or another. And there's by name and location, but let's see what this is. Picture of eyes. So sometimes it'll give you the answer. So labeling something you save is important when you're using something like this as a search. Let's see, I want to go back and do everything. And then I like to do it alphabetically. Let's see, alphabetically. Or sometimes I do it time-wise. Some of these are in foreign languages too. Date modified. Okay, and this is everything from today. So that's, you know, and you can make bookmarks of things that you find as well. I don't use this, so I don't have any. So if I say organized bookmark, I don't have any there. I just get into this and get out of it, just find what I'm looking for. But let's say I'm looking for something with STUG in it, in the title. Bingo, you can see that I have a few things that say STUG.
Right. Cool. It's interesting.
So I could say STUG and PDF, and now it's going to show me anything that has both the word STUG in it and PDF. So I'm looking at a whole bunch of PDFs about STUG, which includes probably a lot of the monitors and brochure and learning resources and so on, from things going back several years.
That's cool.
Can you delete from that?
Let me just take here, and I'm going to right mouse click, and you can open with, and then decide whether you want to open it to give access to somebody. And yes, you can delete it from here as well, but you know, be careful. And then you can look at the properties, so you can see some information about it as well. This was something from January 11th, 2021. And it was accessed because I just clicked on it. May 7th, which is today's date.
I was
And
getting
then-
at if you don't need it anymore, you could delete it from there.
Right.
Yeah, you can delete it from there. You don't have to go to it and then delete it. But you can delete some things you don't want to, or maybe shouldn't as
Yes.
well in this program. So be very
Understand that
careful.
very well. I
Just
did
one of
that
the
with my
tools,
address book.
one of the tools I actually learned about everything from Mike Hutchinson at a STUG meeting. When he does the thing before the main meeting, when we were meeting at the school, he happened to mention that or show that. And that's where I picked it up. So I went home at night, looked at it, and I downloaded it, and I've been using it now for a couple of years, and it's been an invaluable tool. So I thank STUG for that.
Mike is also a great teacher.
He is. Any other questions?
You mentioned that you use Chrome browser a lot. Is there any reason with the Windows PC to use Edge browser over Chrome? I use Firefox more than anything else.
It's, you know, do you have a Ford or a Chevy or a Cadillac or, you know, or a pickup truck or an SUV or a car or a sports car? You know, it's what you're comfortable with, what fits you, and what you're happy with. But with browsers, there's nothing that says you can't have. And I don't know if you saw that I have Edge, I have Firefox, I have Chrome, I have Brave installed on this computer. And DuckDuckGo is a search engine. That's not a browser.
Oh, okay.
But I have all of those on the computer, and I can open up any one of them. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, I am like Caitlin was saying, that some websites I go to, I'm registered as a particular person. And so it may show me a different view than if I went in as just Joe Anonymous. So I may open up another browser and go in and just go to that website without being signed in and see things a little bit different or differently. Also, there are some times when I go, let's say I go to my bank or I go to a website and I have to fill out a form to order something. And it says, okay, click here. When I click there, nothing happens. And it's supposed to be a form popping up. And I look using the Alt tab and it's not there. Well, I say, okay, I copy the URL or the address and I open up, say, Firefox, or I may open up Edge, but I may open up one of the other browsers, go to the same location, click, put in the information that I need to. And when I click enter, bingo, that little window pops up and says, okay, you need to fill this in as well, and say, okay. And I do that and it works. Some browsers, I've got some things either blocked or doesn't read it the same or something. So having a second browser can be very helpful as well. And I use Chrome because I have a Chromebook, and that's the basis of the Chromebook. So I'm so used to it, and they sync. So when I add a bookmark on my Chromebook, it adds it on my desktop when I go to it. And so I find it much easier to maintain the same one. So that's the one I use, but I do have all of the others on there, and I play with them. Of course, I create some websites, including my own, and I want to look at them with different browsers because sometimes they may interpret a website a little bit differently.
Right. Thank you.
Hewie, I have a basic question on my Amazon Kindle Fire. What operating system does that use?
The Fire operating system.
It's got its own.
It's got its own. It's based, I think it's also an Android-based one, similar to the Chrome OS and similar to some of the others, but it's its own and it has a certain way it does things. Now you bought the Fire 10, correct?
Yes, because someone was touting it, and I had been planning to get a new one anyway, and I thought I would try that.
Yeah, they're real inexpensive right now because the new model is about to be released. So the new model is going to be like $150, and I think you can get the model you got for about $99 now.
I thought this was the newest one, the 10. I thought
no, the new one won't be actually released until I believe the 27th of the month.
Ah, okay.
Nothing wrong with what the one you have, but it may not have a bell or a whistle that the new one's going to have.
It's fine. It's fine. I think for what I want to do with it, it'll work.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting one for Robin, and I'm debating whether I should get the one that's cheap now or wait and see if I can grab one of the new ones when it comes out, if they run a special on it for a couple of days or something. Okay, I was going to show one other thing, and it's almost on the hour, so let me just quickly give you a couple of tips that I might not have otherwise. And I'm not sure whether you can see this or not. So let me share my screen. Can you see my taskbar at the bottom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to right mouse click and notice it says lock all taskbars, and that's got a check mark next to it. That means I can't move it. But if I'm right mouse clicking, and there's a whole bunch of things you could change here, and I could spend an hour just showing you some of the things that you can set up from this. But let's go ahead and unlock that taskbar. This is something that you may encounter, and it may be unlocked on your computer, and you may not realize it. And all of a sudden, sometime you all of a sudden go, wait a minute, why is it over there? Because you dragged it over by mistake. And the way to avoid it or avoid changing it again is find an empty spot on there and then click the lock all taskbar. And now I can't, whoops. Let's see. I can't move it back. Right now, I'd have to unlock it. But I put it over to the side so you might be able to see some things a little bit clearer. You can put whatever you want on the taskbar. Notice I have everything on the taskbar. You don't have to have it there. If I right mouse click, I can unpin it from the taskbar and it won't be there anymore. Or if I want to put something else there on the taskbar, I can. So if there's something that you use, why would you want to have it on the taskbar as opposed to, say, on your desktop? Well, anything on your desktop, if you want to open it, you've got to click it twice.
Yes.
If it's on the taskbar, you only have to click it once.
So hard.
It's a convenience, and it's right there. So it's a convenience thing. And you can also move things around. So you can say, okay, these are the three things that I use the most. I want them in this location. Or I might want to have some things together, or sometimes I have two versions of Evernote on here. I like to keep them well separated, so I know that this is 10 point whatever that is, 10 point whatever, and this is 6 point whatever. And so whichever one I want to open, I can click on it, and I know that the one on the left or the one on the top is the version 6. And these are some other things that I use on a regular basis. And you can change these. You can have nothing in there if you want. You can also, let's right mouse click here. There's some other things that you can do in your taskbar settings. Let's click on that. There's some things you can do here. You can have a different background. You can have different colors. So let's see, what is it now? I want to make sure I don't screw it up too much. This is the recent color. Let's change here. So you can change these. It doesn't do it automatically. You got to save it first, I guess. Yeah, you can see what it's going to look like. And it actually changes a lot of things on your screen. Colors, you can lock the screen. You can change your themes. So these are things that you can do, not just for your taskbar, for everything, but in your taskbar. So let's go ahead and close that. And notice here, now I don't have everything here now. Well, that's because I just changed something. So what I do is toolbars. You could have different toolbars. And let's see, I did this earlier, and when I brought it back down, let's see, it's locked. Let's unlock it. Oh, I see show task view button. Show Cortana button. So you can show and not show certain things that you might want to have as well. I'm going to unlock, and I'm going to drag it down back down to here, and it's down here again.
One of the things I use my taskbar for a lot is to right click on it and then open windows, show windows side by side or on top of each other. And then I could have 2 or 3 or 4 windows open at one time.
Something like this, or if you have several versions, let's see, and you can open up, let's see, by right mouse clicking here, I can open a new window and have, when you know it. Okay, and I click it here. It's now, I've got 2 Google Chromes open. There's nothing wrong with having that. You can do that. So I could have my Yahoo mail in one and my Gmail in the other.
Right. But if you-
Or I could have mail in one and other websites in my Facebook and something else.
But if you right click on the toolbar, then it just makes them even Steven on the screen. Show them side by side.
I'm not sure what you mean.
The fifth one up. 1, 2, 3. The fifth one up from the bottom. One more up. No, up. No, down. He went too far. Down. One more down. Right there.
Okay, show window side by side. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, that's changing your screen. Yeah,
I like that a lot.
where you
Sort
can
of what
cascade your
I was asking
windows.
about the other day.
So there's some different things that you can do from here. Show the desktop. That minimizes everything. When you click down here in that corner, I showed this last month or last meeting, it's way down in the corner that goes to the desktop and minimizes everything and maximizes everything that you've got open. Just a couple of tips to things to look at and play with. Try to remember where you started, so when you change something and you don't like it, you can go back to where you were. That
Right.
sometimes is difficult, even for me.
That is the hard time.
Yeah. They should have the ability to go like on a back, you go back arrow on the browser. They should have that ability on your Windows PC to go back to your previous setting.
Settings it doesn't do, but certain things that you do, for instance, in your when you open up, let's say we're in documents here, and let's say I'm in, let's go to the STUG, and let's say I'm in the virtual meeting. So I have got the meeting set up and I'm here. Let's say I'm in this last meeting and I
Not
got a
showing
bunch
your
of
screen
information.
if you're-
No, we can't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Sorry about that. All right. Share screen and share. Okay. All right. So I'm in a folder and you can see the where I am at. I'm in a folder called 2021-05-05 under a subfolder called 2021, which is in virtual meetings, which is in the STUG folder under documents on this PC.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, see this plus arrow here?
Yeah,
That'll move you up one level.
right.
And I can click back and go back there.
Mhm, mhm.
There's
Yeah,
also, like on your browser, this is here, and you can
That's-
move back and forward.
yep.
So you can do that. Or you can move all the way back up to documents by just clicking here.
Mhm.
As you go to back, it'll take you back here. So you can move around
Yep.
very easily just from this bar. So you don't have to go out, come back in, or try to figure out where something is. And there's also a search bar here. Let's go back up to STUG and let me go ahead and I'm going to type in here the word monitor. And you'll see that I get a lot of choices and it's only in the STUG folder and all of its subfolders. But I've got a lot of things that have monitor in them. And so I could go and see STUG meeting intro,
You have a whole monitor folder too.
and I got a whole monitor, 4 monitors. So these are items that I want to send for the
Got other
monitor,
things
right?
than monitoring it. It also said minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the search within that folder and its subfolders is good. And you can use wildcards. So let's say we're in STUG. I know I've got a Excel spreadsheet, and I can't remember what the name of it is or where it is, but I know it's in that folder. If I hit the star or the asterisk, which is a wildcard, and put XLSX, which is the extension for Excel, and click the side arrow, it gives me a list of all of the Excel spreadsheets that I have within the STUG folder.
Wow. That's great.
And that's part of Windows. That's nothing extra, and that's within the file manager.
Can you use the asterisk when you're in your browsers to search for something also, if you can't remember a word?
Sometimes.
Mhm.
The asterisk has been a wild card going back to the DOS days. So in some places it will work and some it won't. It's always worth a try.
Okey-doke.
So it will take you to the thing that you want it. If you write something in there, it'll take you to that, or will it just take you to anything?
I'm not sure which.
You,
Give me an example.
when you hit a few minutes ago, when you clicked on the asterisk, you then typed in the Excel extension.
That's
and then
correct.
You hit the arrow. So in other words, if you use the wild card, you have to give it something to go by.
Otherwise, it says everything and it'll find you everything.
Okay.
It's a wild card. It says, okay, if it's got a name to it, show it to me.
Okay.
Well, I want to minimize what I want it to show. So I do the wild card and
Gotcha.
and something else. You could put let's say, I know it's STUG monitor, but maybe I don't have the word STUG in there. But if I put STUG asterisk dot PDF, it'll show me all PDFs that start with STUG and then something after it.
Huey, what was the extension for Excel?
XLS or
Oh, okay.
XLSX are a couple of them. There are others that it uses. But if you just save a spreadsheet, it usually depends on what version of Excel you have and what you have in the settings. XLS was the original Excel extension, and then when they updated it, I can't remember which version it was, and everything forward, they added the X to it. And that's why, like, Word documents are .doc and .docx.
Okay.
They could be other things too, but that's generally the default. Okay, I think
Thank you
I've
very much.
crammed your brains with a lot of stuff for today.
Thank you,
You
Yui.
did, Huey. It was great.
Thank you, Yui.
All right, and thank you
Good
for
stuff. You're
coming.
good.
And
Great teacher. Thank you.
hopefully Dave makes it through his surgery fine today on his eye, and he'll be back for the next one. Or if I'm available, I'll pitch in and help him. I try to attend these as well, but when he's here, I leave it pretty much up to him to do what he's going to do. But we all have our different ways of working. But by the way, this Sunday is my Windows SIG. Let me give a pitch to that here. Let's do that first. Let's see, go here, minimize, open up Chrome. Why am I showing Chrome? Because I got everything set up, so I can just come here, go to Hewie.net and go to the WinSig. These are the items that I have on my agenda. I may cover all of them. I may cover some of them. If worse comes to worse, I might not cover, but just a couple. But Jerry's tips and tech tips that are on my website, I'm going to talk about them a little bit. I'm going to talk about, there's going to be a new Windows update and it's going to be the 21H1, which is the first half of the year. That should be probably sometime this month will be the next major update to Windows.
Sounds like
And,
a virus.
yeah. And what I have is some articles about some of the things that may be in it. And then I'm going to talk about some new icons in File Explorer. They're going to change them. And a couple of features that are going away in Windows, and how to change the Microsoft Office default safe locations on Windows 10, which sometimes you can use them for other programs as well. Something a little bit about some of the patches. Then I'm going to talk about what's plain text, how to turn photos into Windows backgrounds with an app,
Oh, good.
how to annotate screenshots with Windows 10 Snip and Sketch, 10 spring cleaning tips for your Windows PC. Some of these at the end that we may not get to. But all of these, by the way, are links So if you wanted to find out what is plain text, you're not going to make the meeting, or you want to know in advance what I'm going to talk about, just click that. It'll take you right to the article that I'm going to refer to.
Hmm.
And because I have an ad blocker, it doesn't like that. So there's ways around that too, which, but I'm not going to show that now. But
Cool.
Is that at 1 o'clock on Sunday?
this is it. I open the doors at 1 o'clock. We start at 1:30. And so some places it says 1 o'clock and some says 1:30. From 1 until 1:30,
Got it.
it's just
Thank
kind of it's people signing in and chit chat. And then I started at 1:30.
Yeah, thank you.
But you have to register for it. And
Yes.
the best place to do is just go to my website. And there's at the bottom, there is a sign up sheet for my newsletter. I'll send you the current newsletter if you do it between now and then, because it's already gone out for this month. But if you go there and sign up for it, I'll see that you signed up and I'll send you a copy. And in there, there'll be a link to register for the meetings. And it's the same one each meeting for each of the meetings. It's the same one. So,
Very good.
okay. On that
Thank
note,
you.
I'm going to say have a good rest of the day. I'm glad you joined, and I hope you got something out of it. You learned something and didn't get confused with anything I
Good.
said.
Thank you.
I learned everything. Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Hewie.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.